the hell?
Since the early days of PlayStation, what generally comes to mind when you think of survival horror? Resident Evil, Silent Hill, but what's funny is that while all of these are true definitions of the genre, there really hasn't been a faithful continuation during our modern day console installments. Enter The Evil Within, a brand new attempt in a very difficult to create theme of diaper-filling scares and survival of the fittest gameplay. The question, though, is can Resident Evil creator Shinji Mikami head back to the roots of what made this type of game so great? Or is this just another attempt, destined to limp the streets alone, thirsting for attention? The Evil Within starts off pretty simple. You control Detective Sebastian Castellanos, and through his piercing eyes, you're on a case like no other. Things have gone wrong in a nearby mental hospital, and it's up to you to answer the distress call. Or was it ever a call for help to begin with? Once things immediately kick off, you'll find yourself wrapped in a journey of unforgettable torment that takes clear inspirations from popular past titles like Silent Hill 2 and 3, Resident Evil 4, and of course, just the unlocked mind of creator Mikami himself. This is a gaming creation we have longed to properly experience, that while initially may come off as following a tale of odd pacing, eventually opens up to a much deeper and darker adventure, where original questions of confusion are replaced with the oohs and ahs of mind-opening realization.
Has something startled you?
The Evil Within wants you to feel confused. It wants you to be in the shoes of this rather blank canvas protagonist, because what he thinks is what you think, and what he learns is what at the same time educates you on his path for answers. It is near masterclass stuff that needs an applause for its authenticity. Not only will the 12 to 15 hour mind trip throw you through hoops of originality, but your mind and gaming soul will eat it up, because in the end, we have been waiting for someone to take the reins of this genre in the right direction. Initially, I didn't really like how the story was going, but as mentioned, that is all part of this game's master plan, where originally generic characters felt like just simple tag-alongs that eventually open up to have much bigger roles, and slow but rewarding narrative breadcrumbing that makes The Evil Within one of the best horror stories in its own enclosed archetype. The path to surviving is a dangerous one, and the amount of curveballs its narrative sneaks in makes every corner turned a possible surprise. Even Sebastian's save hub isn't safe, with different creepy tweaks happening the further you tiptoe, and it helps you believe that the Evil Within is here to make you feel insecure, and to make sure you watch over your shoulder, even when you least expect it. By its end, you'll even feel satisfied, which is an incredible feat for video games, where the general ending standard is a rushed, boring, tacked-on insult. The Evil Within uses its overall progress to make the whole thing feel worthwhile, and while most questions will be answered, it will still leave you wanting and needing to see where its creator wants to go next.
What is it? I dropped my glasses back there. Fuck.
The horror game's story generally doesn't have to be the biggest concern. It has one job and usually one job only, and that's to scare the eventual seeping poop out of you. The Evil Within does this in a multitude of ways, while providing nudges to previous games in a way of showing you how to do it right. First, you have the combat that wants you to be tactical, conservative, but never helpless, and always a scarcity in its gunplay bellows inspirations of Resident Evil 4 and 5, but instead of stockpiling you like a Walking Dead Rambo, it makes ammo capacities a limitation, where every shot counts, and every missed shot is felt like a rush of dread. The The game provides plenty of deadly weapons to handle, like revolvers, a shotgun, sniper rifle and grenades, that all give you a chance for any situation. Headshots are dependent on goal, but within this system, we see that developers want to force you to think outside the box when dispatching foes, that in a way can save the one needed slug that will repay you in a later encounter. It does this by simply providing a box of matches. These matches can then be used to burn knockdown targets, or even mass groups of stunned opponents that in the end makes this small burning twig a weapon of mass destruction, even compared to the later unlocked Magnum. The match not only works as an offensive weapon, but also a defensive one, where popping a kneecap only to drop a match before a charging foe's friend ignites both on fire like a chain lightning effect that, as noted, saves not only ammo, but also possible health loss. These are the situations that the Evil Within puts you in, and it's these types of gameplay scenarios that we have long needed. To take things a little further in your arsenal is finally the Agony Crossbow. Sure, it may initially stick out like a sore gaming thumb, but its implementation seems almost essential. The bow comes with a holster of different and surprising bolts that again aren't just offensive, but also defensive in a clever way. Upon inspection you are granted the standard spear, but later on trap bolts and stun bolts come into the picture that even take advantage of being combined with other weapons, like freezing an enemy with an ice bolt and then shattering them to pieces with a single shot of your pea shooter handgun. The game balances this deadly justice weapon with its ammo consumption and crafting hunger. By disabling enemy traps, you gain resources to build the bolts you need, but these puzzles aren't going to go down without a fight, like well-hidden tripwires or button-sensitive wall mines that can equal a sought-after bolt, or regretful explosion to the face and a chunk of lost vitality. This then promotes the sneaking mechanic. Yup, stealth is in here too, where again rare ammo can be saved by a slow but stabby knife-based bear hug that not only takes out potential threats, but also gives you the time to disable said traps or gain precious goo for future upgrades. Goo sits in the Evil Within as your unusual but valuable currency. Through collecting this green brain matter, you can visit the safe hub and strap yourself into a mysterious electrical chair. This enables Sebastian to unlock many different types of upgrades depending on your playstyle. Use the shotgun a lot, then increase your ammo capacity. Want to give your bolts an extra kick? Boost them to imbue them with fire damage. The selection of different upgrades means that however you play, you will have the options to cater to your needs. Additionally, collectible hidden keys allow the player to unlock a number of precious morgue vaults, each containing a different treasure for survival. The items in each door are completely random, but always still vital. Will you unlock 6 needed rounds for your revolver, or maybe that extra jar of goo for your next upgradable weapon? Whatever the desire, you'll always get something that you want. All of this customization and consuming transfers into the enemies you'll be using it on, and the assortment is surprisingly vast. Standard enemies come in a pack of melee whopping or gun-toting zombie, and they are all fun to dispatch and equally deadly to their larger brothers. Later variations come equipped with insta-gibbing chainsaws or even feeding a chapter unique experiences that make every future area a possible hive for new threats or deadly death dealers. This also complements the bosses you encounter that are all distinctively terrifying. The types you face are small, sure, but the lasting impact they provide along chapters until your eventual conflict makes each one something to remember. This is a game about quality experiences, and the saying has always been above that of larger, more rushed quantities. You may have noticed during this review that The Evil Within is a gorgeous game, maybe one of the best looking horror games to ever exist. Thanks to newer consoles, we finally have a title that really takes advantage of lighting and particle effects to make you feel that one step closer to the terror before you. Sebastian and all of his likely murderers look equally well designed, but the love has to be given specifically to the game's different and creative environments that at times can even borderline photorealistic. Mist covers long forest walkways with a sense of tension-rising wonder, and the dark subways and catacombs glisten the scarcity of light while hiding the creatures awaiting your arrival. This can be undone a little in the more lit-up areas. Thanks to the great control of bleak lighting in some locales, the presentation as mentioned is pretty much unmatched, but with under a quarter of the adventure covered in sun, it can be a little grumbling thanks to these sections because they just aren't scary and can reveal environmental ugliness that the darkness seems to hide. Issues do also arise, like the game's odd optimization, ugly cutscene rendering, and the occasional dip in frame rate. The black bars above and below the action also come off as unwelcome at first, but like its story, will eventually help provide a bigger appreciation for the intended effect. Enemy AI can also be a little bit odd, but it was such a rare occurrence that after seeing it once, could never be replicated again. The voice acting, though not brilliant, is passable, and I was equally interested in all of the characters and what they had to offer, but again it is the surroundings that steal the show, with some disgustingly good sound effects from monsters, gore and weapons that helps create that immersion we see in its story. Within is a must-play for any mature gamer. Its story and gameplay show strong evidence of tender love and care to help you, the player, the consumer even, get the value you paid for in this product. Sure, there are some bugs and kinks that could be easily fixed, but overall it's generally unnoticeable because you'll be too distracted by the excellent survival horror that your eyes have waited for all of these years. Proxy playthroughs gives The Evil Within a delightful belly-filling gold muffin, but what did you think to The Evil Within? Proxy would love to know, but until next time, ciao.